Hey. Welcome to another Movies and Shows here on Team Nerdherd slash Near Nirvana YouTube channel. Of course, we're going to discuss again Ahsoka. This is episode 8, finale of the Great Ahsoka show on Disney Plus. My name is West Coast Big Rob on IG. Follow me and my craziness. And I'm with.
This is Jeff the Geek Driven. Here for that finale. Here to talk some Star Wars because we won't get any Star Wars for a long time after this.
Yeah.
Sadly, yes. And I can't wait to talk about it. It's middle of the week. It's hump day. So
I know Wednesday. long ass. Wednesdays are so long for me to say I hate Wednesdays.
I hear you.
But let's take care of some business before we get on our jibba jabba. So I'll do this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. So, okay. So don't forget, use Nirvana 14 for 30 days. Unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. Use code Nirvana 14 for 30 days. Unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. So you could check out your Star Wars books on a cool website. And then we got use code TNH10 for 10% off your purchase over at Bird City Comics. Use code TNH10 for 10% off your purchase over at Bird City Comics. Maybe you get some of those New York Comic Con books. Man, there's so many books. And then use code Team Nerdherd to save 10% off your purchase over at DisplayGeek.com. Use code Team Nerdherd to save 10% off your purchase over there at DisplayGeek.com. Check out his website. A lot of cool stuff there. If you're a toy collector, it's actually a good website to utilize because there's a lot of cool protectors for your toys there. So check out DisplayGeek.com. And of course, we'll also thank our follow our resident DJ on Instagram, Beats by Monster. Beats by Monster, that's Eddie, our buddy who does the music for our show, who does our music. And of course, I'll thank the TNH Horsemen at 17 Ring number 1, all the way from SD, 17 Wong, Deanna Satera, and Glenn 2K across the pond, our 4 horsemen. And should be, of course, the chat. It's a little slow on the chat today. But of course, always first. GT comic, always first, man. It's literally.
He's always there.
he chimes in like 5-10 hours
early.
As soon as the show goes up on YouTube, he's already chiming in. And of course, Azores Taiga Comics.
Bezos.
Are one of our resident Star Wars experts as well. I mean, he's pretty knowledgeable on the Star Wars tip as well. Hopefully, he can help us out. We miss anything here.
Throughout the season, me and Azores have been talking through text about the show after every episode. So
look at you nerds unite.
We nerds, we geek out all the time.
That's it about Star Wars. Nerds. All right. I think that's it. Let me just pull this up because, it does help, in my opinion, when we have some visuals when we talk about this stuff. So nothing special, just some images, but it always helps. Look, just by the way, it looks like episode IGN gave them a 9 on this episode. Really high praise. IGN is really rough, man, with his score sometimes.
It's not my grade.
Oh, we got a hater in the house already. Let's do this. All right. So
you want me to get started on the?
You started off this time.
All right. Well, we start off with the Chimera. We see the underbelly of the Chimera. It's connected to the temple or whatever, and Thrawn gets the message that they have just finished loading the cargo, and they've also located the Jedi. So Thrawn sends out 2 TIE fighters. Of course, Morgan says, as any usual bad guy will say, the Jedis can't do anything now that we finished. And Thrawn basically tells her, I've heard plenty of Imperial officers talk about the rebellion that way. And even he has been taken down by the heroics of a single Jedi.
Which is great, because it's the first Star Wars character who said, I'm not that idiot. Not anymore.
Yet they are. And he goes, never again. And so basically it beckons back to like the whole he says send 2 TIE fighters, but he also says like we've underestimated the Jedi plenty of times. So I'm like, well, that's typical Empire shit.
Well, I got the I got the impression it's not like said out loud, but
Yeah.
he didn't mind losing stuff on the way out. He just wanted to get the hell out of there.
No, and I get that too. It just felt like, you know, it's a normal boss level thing, right? Like where you're just sending out these little
He's playing
troopers
chess.
and yeah, he's just delaying them before they can get there. I
He's using his
get that.
pawns.
I'm like, well, why don't you just take them out while you can? Because they were just sitting ducks. But
'Cause he
we'll
knows
get
he
to
can't.
that.
No, he knows he can't. He know because he's already had experience with Jedi's.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
understands they're like cockroaches. They're really hard to kill. So it's like
Okay.
it's not worth the trouble. Your goal is to get the hell out of Dodge. That's goal number one. If you can take them out on your way out, great. But now don't sweat it. Just move on. Keep going.
Right. That wasn't necessarily his goal. Right.
Yeah. And that's the impression I got because he's a smart dude. He's a chess player. He's thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead, no matter what.
Okay, I can buy that. I can buy that. Like, I mean, it's just frustrating when you see 8 TIE fighters in there and you're just going, he sent 2?
Because he knows he's going to lose all 8 if he sends 8.
And you're probably right. So, okay.
Yeah.
And then we get he tells the Great Mothers it's been a great what do you call it? Alliance. It's been beneficial. And the Great Mothers acknowledge Morgan's contributions, and they basically make her a Night Sister.
Yes.
It's all the callback to Clone Wars, right? Back to where they're I think it was Mother Taslin was inducting Asajj Ventress.
Word.
So it was like word for word the whole ceremony. And then they create they conjure the blade of Taslin, which is obviously Mother Taslin's blade, which she fought Mace Windu with in the Clone Wars. So I mean that was cool. Yeah.
It actually turns like a neon green with like mystic magic.
It has the green, the Night Sister flame, the green flame, and that's cool. I I do have an issue with this in the sense only because I was telling Azores this. She got Darth Mauled worse than Darth Maul got in Episode 1. Like she
what
becomes.
Do you mean?
We'll explain it later because we
yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah, that's obvious what happens to her, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They give her the gift of shadows, which is the Night Sister's powers, and she basically pledges her life to them. And then let's see, the TIE fighters are leaving the dock. And that's where we go to another scene. So, but go ahead, let's start there.
Well, yeah. That whole little ceremony took time off the show. That took some time. But yeah, then they
that was 10 minutes, man.
Yeah, we cut to the TIE fighters. You're right. So basically the good guys forces are kind of gathering to make their approach to the Chimera and the temple and all that stuff. So of course, obviously, as we said, Thrawn does send 2 TIE fighters to slow them down. They are sent to slow them down, while I believe, if I remember correctly, the Jedi ship was actually hovering like just slowly with the
traveling with an OT.
Which I love, dude. They're so cute. Honestly, man, I love.
You know what? Okay, so when I was watching this, I just, we're Masters of the Universe fans, right?
Yes.
You know what I was thinking of, right? That Rokon and
the Rocky,
the meteorites.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a deep cut for Master Universe fans. Even in the Master Universe world, they're very deep cut characters. But
yes,
yeah. So, but yeah, they were basically traveling, and the TIE fighters come. They take advantage of the opportunity because they were not really prepared for this, and they start guns a blazing. They almost take out the Jedi ship, and they're firing away. And how who
Be,
takes them out? I forget.
before we get to that, Kate, can we talk about the like? I feel like most of this episode is the best parts are most of the interpersonal dialogues with the characters on the ship or in the enemy. Um, but there was they started that scene with Ezra making a lightsaber.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such an
It's a
important
great
like.
scene.
Yeah, I think it was a great scene. Because he's building his lightsaber and he's frantic about it because basically Ahsoka says he needs to make one because they're gonna fight Thrawn. Um, and Hu Yang's in there, and this is obviously Hu Yang and Ahsoka's ship.
He has his little like room with all these like basically like that lightsaber. Build a lightsaber at down at Disneyland, and
I felt like they made it on like that on purpose because it's not really like that when they do it in the. I think in the Clone Wars, there was an episode where they had the little Padawans. They had to go find their
I love
kyber
that. Yeah,
crystal,
that's totally different. Yeah,
and then they make their lightsabers, right? Like that was a great episode because you never really watch people in the Star Wars world actually make their lightsabers or
except for that
create
one
them.
episode. Yeah,
Yeah, except for that one. So like this was really cool. The fact that Hu Yang finds out that Kanan Jarrus was Ezra's master, and that Ezra finds out that Hu Yang actually taught Kanan or
Keenan.
Caleb Dune,
Yeah,
Doom, sorry, that he taught him how to create his lightsaber. So that was like a cool little moment.
Yeah.
And then the best moment was probably when he was talking when he finds the piece that Ezra needs to finish his lightsaber, and he basically says, "I'm old enough to know that the relationship between a master and apprentice is challenging as well as rewarding,
Yeah.
or intimate, or whatever it was, right?" And Sabine hears this and kind of walks off, like takes it in. And
Yeah.
and the other cool part was the part that he finds to complete the lightsaber was actually the same part that Caleb used for his, or that Kanan used for his lightsaber.
Yeah, you only had there was a set of it. Couldn't use one, and now there was the other one that was left.
It's kind of like that Harry Potter thing with the wands, right?
Well, yeah, that's why. Yeah, we all. It's been talked about a million times by different channels or different peoples that Filoni is obviously very.
Loves
He's taking a lot of elements from a lot of different things.
Lord of the Rings, yeah, Harry Potter, probably,
yeah,
even all good stuff. I mean,
and old Star Wars as well, obviously.
Yeah, definitely, and I like the fact that his lightsaber was blue. I almost feel like George Lucas has set up the lightsaber colors where the Padawan usually had the green, or the younger Jedi, and the older Jedi always had or the Master had the blue. I always felt like that. That was my theory a long time ago.
But Luke did it differently, though.
Well, Luke started with green, though.
No, started with blue.
Oh, well, but that was his father's. His lightsaber. Oh, yeah, you're right. He used the green one throughout. You're right. Even when he became a master.
Yeah, he kept the green. So now I understand what you're trying to say, but
it felt like that at first.
Luke's that opposite.
Yeah.
And he is pretty much the Jedi Order at this point. So, okay, so that was great dialogue, and then I believe that's when we saw all the other stuff we talked about.
There was a dialogue between Sabine and Ahsoka right after that.
Yeah, there's definitely more just character building, more of them discussing.
I think the most important part of that conversation was basically Ahsoka saying she's made bad choices, or she's had to make difficult choices in her life that no one understood, and only her master would.
Which is this scene right here. They're outside the plane.
Yeah, and Sabine goes, Anakin, and she goes, yeah, he always stood by me when no one else would. even when no one else would. So she says, basically, I'm going to stand by you by whatever happens after this. So it's kind of like a change in Ahsoka's position because Hu Yang had just told Ezra the reason why Ahsoka stopped teaching, stopped training Sabine was because of what happened after Mandalore, the Night of 1,000 Tears, right, where they purged the surface and they killed hundreds of thousands of Mandalorians, and she lost her family, and she was afraid that she was taking the Jedi training so she can get revenge and become dangerous. So like now she's gonna stand by her. She's gonna work with her and trust her,
or at least try to.
Yeah. Just try not to get themselves killed.
Sabine is your typical teenager, just not really trustworthy.
I mean, she has done some questionable things.
She's not trustworthy. It's just that she's whatever impulse hits her, like a teenager, she's going to do.
And it's weird too because she's probably in her mid-20s at this point in the timeline. Maybe, so like it's funny because it's just saying like she's still a youngling in the sense of a Jedi training.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, okay. Well, not a character building throughout those first 10 minutes of the show, but let's get to the chase. The TIE fighter scene. Remind me, how were the TIE fighters taken down? I forget.
Oh, okay. So the TIE fighters hit the they actually hit the T6, right?
Yeah, they damaged it severely.
They damaged the engine, and so it's starting to fall from the sky. And so Ahsoka, Ezra jumped down to use the Force to keep it from crushing the Noti, because the Noti are right underneath them.
That's right.
And then while they're doing that, they can't really keep up the whole ship, and so Sabine is setting has a plan to use it as a basically as a weapon, like a slingshot, and runs the ship, the T6, right into both of the
whatever energy they have, or energy they have, and they burst energy just to ram them because they're such a much bigger ship anyway. So yeah, it was actually a pretty cool scene.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool use of the starfighter. Also, it kind of like people were probably complaining about, oh, why didn't the wings get damaged on the T6? Well, it's probably telling us the difference between the quality of the T6 and the TIE fighters. That's how it's telling me. That's all.
It's like an F-350 hits a Ford Focus. It's the F-350 is going to win.
Yeah. I mean, granted, the airplane might still go down, but and what they did, they still went down.
Because the TIE fighters are basically just a solid ball with like flappy little things. Those will fall apart in a heartbeat. So
yeah, I mean, it made sense to me. It didn't get too far, and they went down, and they were out of commission, so it worked.
The only thing that bothers me about this plane is it doesn't have any forward guns.
But it is a Jedi ship, so Jedi aren't supposed to be offensive.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be protectors.
Well, there is no more Jedi.
Yeah,
let's put some fucking guns in the front of the plane. That's okay.
I'm not arguing, but it is Hu Yang ship too.
There's already a Lego of the ship, and I'm assuming sooner or later we're going to get a Black Series version or a Vince collection, one or the other.
If we don't get a Black Series, that'd be a shame.
Well, actually, Black Series, that'd be crazy because it's way bigger than the TIE Fighter. The TIE Fighter Black Series is massive.
Yeah, but I would say I put it maybe the size of the Ghost.
No. So the Ghost is Vince's collection. I think they'll do this as a Vince's collection. Because the TIE Fighter is on the Black Series, they've done it one time. That TIE Fighter is about a foot and a half tall, and about another foot and a half wide. That's pretty fucking massive. So imagine doing this is at least going to be like 4 feet wide and like a foot and a half tall. So, let's get away from a toy obsession. Okay, so they solved that issue. They get rid of the TIE Fighters, which galvanizes them too, if I'm not mistaken, start moving towards the temple and the Chimera.
So we see the 3 Jedis on 2 Howlers taking off as you watch Hu Yang and the Noti fixing the T6.
Yes, that was basically. Here we go. Basically, that's the next decision. This is the let's say the middle of the show. They head towards the temple in the Chimera, trying to stop Thrawn from taking off. This is when it becomes like a video game. This becomes Kung Fu, or becomes Double Dragon.
Double Dragon, bro. You got to go through the level.
This is Game of Death, right?
Go up the elevator, go to the next level.
You fight this giant dude with the ball heads. It becomes a beat 'em up, basically at this point. So
it's the left to right scrolling.
It's actually cool seeing how these Howlers did not get hit at all by the Star Destroyer because they're running full speed because they're running. Tron says, "Rain down hell."
I'm always, anytime animals are involved and the Jedi are utilizing them as transport, I'm always going to think it's the Jedi using the Force to not get hit. So it's directing the animal a certain way.
Yeah, like a shield, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too amazing. I just go, oh, it's the Force. They're using the Force.
Well, yeah, it was a crazy scene just to see all that they dodging the laser beams.
It was cool.
Which leads them to a scene of them using the Force by Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine.
Maybe Sabine.
Well, she tried. She had her hand out.
Because it makes it, the way they set it up was Ezra, the door, right? And then she goes, "Oh, Sabine, help out." And we're like,
try to help out.
What do you mean help out? She hasn't done anything yet. So that was weird. So we don't know how much of the Force she actually used because you just chalk it up to, oh well, Ezra and Ahsoka did it.
Maybe they used 95% of it and she had 5%.
Maybe, yeah.
Something was popping, right?
Yeah.
And they barely make it through the skin of their teeth, through the door shuts behind them, and they cut the Thrawn and Thrawn's like, shit. Okay, they're inside.
Yeah, Thrawn basically Enoch informs Thrawn that the TIE fighters went down. They found the Jedi. They successfully shot down their ship, and now they lost contact with them. And he goes, like, acceptable losses, basically. Consider them now. This is funny how they threw this line in. He said, consider the TIE fighters lost, and basically mark their captain for a citation. So he's blaming the captain of the TIE fighters that they've lost those TIE fighters.
No, that's wrong. The citation is actually a promotion.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's like you're getting a certificate.
I took it the other way, as a citation is like a demerit.
No, it was like a good thing.
Okay. Well, good for him.
But it's meaningless. It was almost comical.
And then he says, good, now let's send out the ground assault immediately. So basically just to delay them even further.
Yeah, this is where it becomes a beat 'em up. And they're inside the castle, and a whole platoon of stormtroopers comes down. And at first it was like, oh, it's a lot.
Well, Morgan basically tells them Thrawn has tasked Morgan to get volunteers to go. Which now we know that they're alive. These troopers are alive. You don't volunteer if you're not alive.
Yes.
And that their job was to purposely keep the Jedi from boarding the ship, and that they would be left behind most likely.
Yeah, they knew they're probably not going to come back.
Right. So they are sacrificing for Thrawn, and Thrawn goes, "It's for the Empire."
They're fanatical.
Yeah,
and
absolute fanatics.
Which leads to this really cool scene: the new Trinity, right? Sabine, Ahsoka, and Ezra. Well, they're all their lightsabers, very colorful. It's a cool scene. It's very atmospheric.
Very awesome Star Wars Jedi, iconography. Basically, it's just you
Yes.
see Jedi's with lightsabers in a dark area.
And they go to town. They just start busting ass. That's not wrong, but they start kicking ass. That was better. They start kicking ass. They're cutting up the stormtroopers. They're just beating the hell out of them. Even Sabine's using her lightsaber and the guns all at the same time, and pretty much get through it. And okay, they're like okay, whew, we got through stage 1 or stage 2 at this point, I guess. Or actually, this would be stage 3 at this point because they went through the TIE fighters, the laser beams. This is the first level of Stormtrooper stage 3. So they're going up the stairs.
Before we go any further, there's a couple of parts that we kind of skipped over. I do like how Ezra pointed out that Thrawn found the place and woke up the witches. So we got a little backstory
little background, yeah.
Yeah, while they were there. And then I also like the fact that Thrawn says there's no negotiation with Ahsoka. No negotiation with the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, because he fears her.
Yeah, because he fears what Anakin has taught her. Because if she's anything like Anakin, he feared Anakin or Darth Vader.
Yeah, because he knew Anakin was Darth Vader.
So. Exactly. So yeah, it was all cool. Yeah, and then they get past them, and they advance up further. But before they advance, Thrawn basically tells Morgan that they're moving quickly through all the troopers. So. And he kind of doesn't say anything. He just kind of let it linger there, but kind of insinuating that he's going to need her to distract them even further. And she gets it. She goes, "I understand." And Morgan goes to stop the Jedi. Which
actually no. That happened. I think before that is when the witches do their thing, right, with the stormtroopers.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Which is one of the coolest. Yeah, before we get to that, it's one of the coolest parts. So basically, we finally get what people have been wanting.
Yes.
Zombie stormtroopers.
The zombie night troopers. Yes.
Because they're like I said, they were going up the stairs, and at that same point, Thrawn asked the witches, "Hey, can you guys help out? Do your magic. Get these motherfuckers up."
And it felt like Thrawn had that plan the whole time. Like he was going to send these troopers. He knew they're all going to get killed. And then he wants to zombify them so they would still stop them even further, like delay them further.
Yes. And they did get zombified. They actually all rose from the dead.
They all maroked. They all got maroked.
And here, hold up. But so they all rose from the dead. And the Ahsoka and Sabine, they all saw that shit. Like, oh shit, how that happened? And they try to stop them, and they realize these dudes are a little different. They seem a little more stronger, maybe not as coordinated because they're dead as the live version of them, but they seem a little more durable.
Well, yeah, definitely the durable part. They keep getting hit and they'll get back up.
Yes, which says, okay, our better strategy is to keep running up the stairs and shut and cut the doors behind them and let them kind of work themselves through the doors, which is what they're doing. And that rushes them up the stairs to another platoon of stormtroopers with Morgan, because Morgan did what?
Well, so the platoon was behind them. They shut them off by closing the doors.
No, it was just Morgan. There was another platoon.
No, there wasn't. They didn't come till afterwards.
Oh, that's right. The zombies came at the end. That's right.
Yeah, so it was just Morgan versus the 3 Jedi at first.
But I'm sorry, but I cut you off before we had Morgan was getting a special ceremony of what? Go ahead.
Oh, no. She went through that ceremony already. We already talked about it. Remember, she became.
I thought it came.
It happened at the beginning. That's the very beginning. So she became a Night Sister and got the blade.
Yeah, they kind of use that same zombie magic on her, and she kind of
Yeah.
got that. Not she's not totally zombified, but she got that same
No.
vibe to her, right?
No, she became a full fledged Night Sister because remember there was no more Night Sisters in Dathomir,
Yeah.
in our galaxy or in the Star Wars galaxy, and so the only way she becomes a Night Sister is by the ceremony that the Great Mothers held, right? And then they turned her, into a Night Sister. She has the power. They gave her the blade of Talzin, which is, if you've watched Clone Wars, Mother Talzin used the blade against Mace Windu. So yeah, and so she's standing there with her green flame blade, and um, Ahsoka tells Ezra and Sabine to go stop Thrawn, and she'll fight Morgan, and that's what happens.
Well, but the cool part about when she becomes a night sister and the explain all that shit, and that's what they're like, well, okay, well, at this point we gotta get going, and the witches are like, yep, you're gonna get going, so you're gonna stay behind and take care of business, and and she kind of has that one like that face, like, yeah, this is not cool. Why do I have to stay behind? That kind of vibe. But
Well,
she accepted it because she's devoted to Thrawn. She's devoted to the Empire. Well, not to the Empire, more to Thrawn and anything.
I know. I don't think she's devoted to Thrawn or the Empire. I think she's devoted because she makes it very plain. She's devoted to the Night Sisters and Dathomir.
But definitely
So
more than a Night Sister, I think.
yeah. So it well, I mean, Dathomir is the Night Sisters. It's her ancient, heritage. Basically, it's who she is, what she was, what she was trying to bring back to Star Wars Galaxy.
Yes,
Because they had been taken out by Grievous, right?
but yes,
So
but all villains in the end, they want a lot for themselves, and for her at the end here to just kind of say, "Fuck, all right, I gotta follow orders basically and move and do what they tell me to do." But she had that look on her face, like, "I don't want to stay."
I didn't get that, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like she didn't like Thrawn as much as you might think, and I felt like her motives were to bring back the Night Sisters. So that's how I felt her motive was, and it felt like she was when she said, instead of he says for the Empire, she says for Dathomir.
Yes, which leads us to the final act of the show, basically at this point.
Yeah. So we
Which
get to that fight,
which is at the top of the temple.
Which, okay, this is where I have my problem. Thrawn tells her, stall the Jedis from getting onto the ship, right?
Yes.
She lets two Jedis go past her, like immediately. Like, just immediately. Like, fuck it. let them go. I was supposed to task to stop all three of them, slow them all three down. Nah, I'm just gonna let two of them go.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So yeah, actually, before they go up to the temple, she's actually fighting Ahsoka down here, full-fledged fight. Well, that's when Sabine and Ezra went around her, and they head up to the top of the temple.
It just made no sense to me. It was so like we wanted to get to the one-on-one, you know what I'm saying? Battle. Yeah. And they were trying to make this battle between her and Ahsoka this big deal, which you don't really feel it, even though the first time they meet, they battle in the Mandalorian, right?
Well, because it doesn't seem that was cool, but it doesn't seem as big because we know there's only one outcome. We already we know what's going to happen.
That kind of too. Yeah, I mean, because we knew someone has to die in this episode. We know that. Yeah. No one gets out clean.
And she's an easy kill. I knew from the beginning Morgan is not meant for the long run.
Yeah, I also it kind of showed her limitations in her acting. So that's why I didn't mind her being the one.
Damn, Jeff, harsh.
Hey, I'm just saying she's
I thought
more.
she was adequate, man. I think she was
The
pretty decent.
fighting is fine by her. I don't know if she was necessarily like she didn't become really good until she became a Night Sister, which is this episode.
Man, she's
This
Danny.
episode, this was her best acting part.
She's Danny DeSanto's daughter, dude. For me, she's always
Yeah,
she always gonna have props.
she gets props from me all the time. Like I said, her martial arts fighting, her skills are top notch.
Her godfather is Bruce Lee, bro.
And you know what? That's the other damn thing I had a problem with. So the fighting, the whole Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra, when they were fighting and they were using the lightsabers, it looked so amateurish
Jeff.
when they did the close-ups. Right? When they did the close-ups. When they did the close-up with her fighting Morgan, it also felt a little it was a notch up from earlier, but still a little amateurish. Okay. When they did the wide shot though, they did the wide shot of her and Morgan fighting. That was badass. Okay. So like I'm kind of disappointed they didn't use the doubles to do the lightsabering. Because it did look kind of burdensome for Rosario.
Well,
and I think it's because of the costume though. I get it. But because she's not professional, she couldn't she couldn't know space awareness.
I think amateur is a harsh word. I think they're actors who are not really athletes, and to be
it looks slow. That's why.
You're also, and I think a lot of people will say that people are spoiled because of the animation. The animation makes them out to be a lot faster, a lot more fancier with their swordplay, and that's animation, which is a lot easier to do. To put that in live action and make somebody as fast and as talented in swordplay in live action,
what up, Comic Cap?
I'm like, you need, yes, a professional athlete who knows how to manage a sword, but you cannot cast that as a character because they're not good actors. They're just good athletes with sword. Yeah, you're right. It would probably be better to do maybe more away, but they were trying to capture the emotion of her face of both characters more, because it's like like the old Robin Hood fights from the 1930s. These are actors doing swordplay. They were decent for being actors, but they're not professional swordsmen.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. It's just like Morgan, she is more martial arts.
Yeah, right? But she's let's also be real. She's a female. She's not going to be as fast and as strong and as as a male sportsman, because it's like basketball, right? The women's basketball is great and it's awesome, really technical, but it is never going to be as good as male basketball because it's just much more power, much more speed.
I understand the difference between the woman and female, the male and female anatomy, but the wide shot of them fighting, that was badass, and it was fast paced, and it was on point, and it was very precise, very like it worked. But once it like there's certain close-ups you can do where you can get facial and like not see too much of the actual utilization of the lightsaber, and they could have got the face, like her reaction, but like they did too much of that.
I feel like
it made it look bad. That's all.
I think they did the job was sufficient for them. I'm not going to my grading scale for them is not. It's not going to be high when it comes to the swordplay because I know they're just actors. I'm like, I gotta detach myself and not be so
right. But they
on them. I'm like, I realize these are actors and they're just trying to portray the story to you, making it visuals to the story to you, so you understand what's going on. Yeah, they're not going to be Olympic.
But they did better in the earlier episodes, though. That's what I'm saying. Like Sabine did better. Ahsoka did better in her fights with Baylan earlier. Like I'm just saying, those close-ups were better.
Maybe that's also the director. So maybe this director.
It might be a director thing, right?
Yeah, maybe the director is not a good action director because action directors, they're not everybody could do action.
But it's Fumikawa or whatever his name was.
Yeah, but maybe he's not a great action director. Maybe he's more of a dramatic director. Maybe he's more of a suspense director. It's like maybe him doing choreography and shooting, learn how to shoot choreography with a camera is it's not his forte. He did a sufficient job. I think it was solid. I don't think it was complete trash.
No, I don't think it was. No. I'm not saying the whole thing was complete trash. I'm not saying the whole Jedi fighting was complete trash. Like I said, there was parts of it that looked super badass, but then when you did the close up, it doesn't match what they just did.
Bobby agrees with me.
Yeah, I mean, I just like I said, it clashed because the choices that they made back to back. That's all.
Yeah. For your aesthetics, it wasn't pleasurable for you. I thought it was sufficient, but for you, no.
Yeah.
That's fine. We disagree on that.
The continuity of it was just because of the filming wise, but I understand what you're saying, and I can accept that. It's just like I said, they put really good parts in there, and then they.
And the end, that might be more of a the cinematographer and a director issue. Yeah,
I can get behind that. Okay, so so they go by her, and Ahsoka fights her.
Yes, on top of the bottom of the temple, and then end up on the top. I forgot how they end up on top, but yeah.
Yeah, so she actually takes out one of her lightsabers.
So
destroys it.
I know. I was like, "Oh shit, that's a big deal."
I thought it was a big deal, but then I go, "That's right. She's got like 50 pairs of freaking lightsabers inside the ship.
Room there's dedicated lightsaber parts."
Yeah, and then don't forget the training room, right? Where she has the lightsabers behind the display.
Which makes sense because they probably over the years since
she collected.
Over the destruction of the Jedi Temple, they probably kind of picked up from the rubble and throughout different areas of the space.
Inquisitors kill Jedi, so she finds a lightsaber.
And obviously, she has extra stones because officially those stones are not easy to get to. They're only were at Jeddah, the planet.
Yeah, well, I would assume Hu Yang had them.
Yeah, he must have had like a sack of them and somewhere hidden. So,
but yeah, I mean, that was really cool.
We'll get to that.
The fight was pretty cool.
Because we'll get to that as well. Because to be honest, that's the most important part of the whole damn episode.
Jeez, yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
Not yet. So let's just get to the top. They're fighting. It's the fucking that battle between Night Sister and Ahsoka, and we know what happens. Yeah. Ahsoka wins. It's fucking her show.
Well, she gets pushed back by the troopers who got through.
Yes.
And Ezra and Sabine are fighting some weird super zombie troopers.
Yes. Yeah.
They were actually zombies underneath the trooper outfits.
They're like the sub-level bosses from like Resident Evil, those fucking monster dudes.
It's the pre-boss boss.
Yeah, it's that mid-level boss, and they're like a little souped-up dark troopers, right? I remember correctly.
They look like dark troopers, but I don't know if they were like super night troopers or what. They were kind of weird. They had different uniforms, different
color. I think they were like red and black.
They were black and red or something like that.
Yeah, well, they fight them. They get through those fucking mid-level bosses.
Well, this is when Sabine actually uses the Force too.
Yeah, this is probably the most controversial part of the episode. Where I saw a lot of pushback on the chats, on the Twitter, on the Instagram, where folks were like, I'm like, people were complaining. I'm like, how could she? She's doing a Rey. But the argument to that point is that that's not true because Sabine has had a ton of training up to this point, where she has dedicated a lot. We don't see it on screen because
she's been training since basically Ezra was training.
Yes,
since the Darksaber.
She was working on developing the Force for years. Not like Rey, where she just 1 week later she has the Force. And she's the strongest fucking Jedi in the galaxy.
No,
it took her a long time, and people for some reason people can't wrap that around their head. I'm like, they thought it's just Ray. She developed it in a week. No, dude, to us it's a fucking week, but to her it was several years.
I mean, and it's funny. Like that's the one thing I really like. If I had problems with this episode, that ain't on the top of my list, right? Like I told you what some of my issues were with this episode already, and I think those are way bigger issues than her actually using the Force at the very end.
But it ended up becoming that on the internet, at least. Well, at least with the typical hate Disney, hate Star Wars folks.
Yeah, hate women.
Yeah,
folks.
Yeah, basically. How dare she?
Ezra and Kanan were stronger Jedis.
How dare he? How dare she? No,
I think it was earned. I think throughout since episode 1, we have been trying. She's been trying to use the Force. We have already established that Hu Yang said that she is blocked. She's blocking herself from using the Force.
She has it, but she was not available access it.
And also said that the Force runs through everybody, so she could use the Force if she wasn't blocked and trained properly. And we found out that the block was basically Ezra. Was that she wanted to find Ezra, she wanted to get him home, and she got to him. So I would say her block was pretty much over.
And let's just talk about the actual scene where she actually uses the Force. She actually uses it.
She's getting choked out, basically.
Yeah, she's getting choked out by the Dark Trooper, and she reaches for. It's like that moment of her life about to end, and that kind of snaps her into using the Force.
And
she does a Luke, goes for the pulls the lightsaber towards her, and lets him have it.
And I think if you really like go into depth about it, like the thinking behind that is you're about to die, right? This is life and death, literally. Okay. You're not thinking about anything else but life and death, right? And to get out of this situation. So your concentration level is probably at its highest at that moment for a singular purpose, which is to live. And that probably helped her access the Force because of that concentration. Like that's how I look at it, right? Yeah. Like that's I agree. It's like the mutants. Like when you become a mutant, your mutant ability doesn't develop until you've hit puberty and you reached a stressful moment, right? A real stressful like moment, and that gets your ability to come out. So that I feel they use that same trope here, which is fine. They've established that already.
Which they beat the mid-level bosses. They move on, and that's when they're trying to get to the ship. But Ezra's like, "That's just too far. We can't make it. I can't make that jump." And Sabine's like, "We're gonna make it," and basically
convinces him that after she used the Force one time,
I know,
that she's gonna force push his ass onto that ship.
Yeah, he looked at her like, "I don't know, dude."
Even he was smart. He was like, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, but he takes a leap of faith, like Jones.
Yeah, like Indiana Jones.
And she pushes him up into the deck of the ship, and she does the opposite that she did in the prior episode, I think episode 4, when she bailed on Ahsoka.
Oh,
this one.
Well, she didn't. I don't know if she bailed. I'm gonna give her a benefit of. I don't know if she bails because she thinks Ahsoka's dead.
No, she bailed.
Dick. So that's where you cross the line.
Yeah, she was a turncoat on that episode for sure. Because she cared more about her boy than Ahsoka. And I was like, she's basically this. But she did the opposite this time.
Maybe
all that she has learned has soaked in. And she realized, nah, man, I gotta go back and get my girl. This is my girl.
She sees Ahsoka fighting, right?
I can't leave her hanging. I gotta stand with her, one way or the other. And she goes back and helps defeat Morgan, I think, at that point. And that's when like you said earlier, man, Ahsoka just cuts that chick right through her gut. I'm surprised that, man, if this was like rated R, those intestines would have popped out, bro.
Oh, that's for sure. Not just well, would they have though? Yeah, I guess they would
Yeah,
have.
because when they did it to the Tauntaun, they just cut the motherfucker in half and all that shit popped out.
Well, but the lightsaber is
Nah, dude.
is so
No,
we call it hot that
no.
it should have cauterized everything too.
So that should never work in Hoth then. Because the
Yeah.
fucking Tauntaun intestines should all popped out. No, should have popped out.
So I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that would have been truly an homage to Japanese films. But the intestines just popping out.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's Disney Plus, and Disney's like, oh, my ass hurts. They don't want to do that, so they should have gone that little extra step, man. They put a little rated R touch to it there, but they didn't want to do it. So I get it. I understand. It's for the kids, for the children.
Oh, you're the one who said it from the damn beginning. Star Wars is for the kids.
It is really.
So you shouldn't complain about
This
that.
is what my 40-year-old ignorant ass is. I want a gore.
Hey, you know what? One day maybe they will add gore to a Star Wars show or
They've
movie.
done it. They've done that. Tauntaun got cut in half.
No, but
Darth Maul got cut in half.
that doesn't. But see, that doesn't count because you
Luke
don't.
lost a hand. That was pretty gory.
But you don't see his hand.
Poor Jabba got choked down right with a camera right in his face. You
have to remember the way the movie industry works. Ratings depend on who's getting the gore.
I love Disney.
If it's an animal or an alien that gets cut up, doesn't matter. You can do it all day.
The Gamorrean god got chewed out, man.
You don't get a rated R for any of that. You get a rated R if it's a human who has the blood and guts.
No, we almost got a Tarantino Star Trek there, Bobby. That would have been fucking gnarly.
That would have been super gnarly. I would have been curious on what that would have turned out like.
And he wanted to focus on the Klingons. That was I heard him tell what his ideas were on that. So
yeah,
we almost got that though. Not a Star Wars, but we almost got a Star Trek.
But yeah, I mean,
but yeah, she got cut in half, basically, right in her guts, and it got cauterized magically by Disney lightsabers.
I also don't. I'm gonna complain about another part.
You old man.
The stormtroopers are fighting Ahsoka the whole time, coming out onto that surface, right onto the roof, basically. They're fighting her the whole time, but as soon as Morgan wants to fight her, they just go in a circle, like in like a Bruce Lee movie where they just circle around you and just watch you. Like, what happened to like shooting her when they were?
Well, you ever see Bruce Lee movies? They just circle Bruce Lee before you know it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they were all shooting her, and all of a sudden, once Morgan wants to fight her, and they stop fighting her, and I'm like, that don't make no sense. And it's just so convenient, you know? Like, oh, now I don't have to worry about these troopers. I'll just fight Morgan.
So
and so, yeah, I mean,
that's Star Trooper, bro. They're fodder for the fucking.
It's just
the shits and giggles, bro.
Some funny shit. Like, it's just logical stuff that they don't make logical.
Well, that's Star Wars. That's all it is, man. Yeah. Star Wars is not supposed to be logical. This is not Star Trek. It's not supposed to make sense. It's magic. It's fucking mysticism.
No. They use TV tropes for Star Wars. Is what I'm getting.
Star Wars is literally a 1930s serial. That's TV tropes as they come.
It's a little overboard, but yeah, I get it.
Plus, it's basically an ABC production on because it's basically the ABC production on working on a Disney application, which I hate fucking ABC.
It's all Disney Plus is Disneyfied. Don't worry, anything and everything that's made on Disney is gonna be Disneyfied.
Disney Plus is, to my opinion, it's ABC on steroids.
Yeah, well, I mean, ABC is owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Agents of Shield is the same, but it's just this is more bigger, more money spent. So, that's why when you will watch this on a film, it's gonna feel different on a film because it's just totally different vibe on the money they spend twice, 3 times as much they spend on this show, and for a fucking 2.5 hour film, it's crazy the production level on a film. It's just a whole different level. But okay, let's go get away from that. So yeah, Morgan's dead. Sabine
then
stayed behind.
they run off onto the ship.
Well, Ezra does.
No. Ezra's already on the ship
Oh, you're talking about the Ahsoka and
on T6. Yeah.
back to their ship. Yeah, yes.
Thrawn basically says destroy the facility, destroy the
temple.
structure.
Yeah, the temple.
Basically rain fire on them again, rain
Yes.
hellfire. As he's destroying the whole complex, they're running off the platform as night troopers are also shooting and chasing them. And they jump off the edge, and of course, just like every Jedi that jumps off the edge, they land on a starship.
No, this is straight Back to the Future 2, Hill Valley.
That
Marty
too.
jumps off the fucking hotel and lands on a DeLorean.
That too, but remember, I'm pretty sure it was done way before that.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that happens all the time in all kinds of movies.
Oh, before 89.
That's 80. Yeah, that's not even 89. I think that's
It's 89.
Oh yeah, it is 89. I thought it was 90.
No, Back to the Future 3 is 90. It was the next year. I was there, bro. It's on the theaters. I remember.
Oh, I was there too. I just have a bad memory.
October 21st, Back to the Future Day.
But yeah, I mean, they pull the Back to the Future and they get inside the ship and they take off after Thrawn.
Yeah, they're back in the ship. Homeboy fixed the ship. They're flying. They're trying to catch up to the Chimera, and they're chasing it, and this is where it creates another cool dialogue scene between Thrawn and Ahsoka.
That was probably some of the best dialogue of the episode for sure.
This is very, very, very Thrawn conversation.
And also, like, you get the inner workings of what he was thinking this whole time. And it's kind of like, the whole trope where the villain tells the hero what's going to happen and then the hero stops them. Well, this is the trope, except the villain wins in this point. He's telling the hero exactly what he had done, what he was doing, and how he just won. And just kind of rubbing it in your face. I have it here. Hold on. What does he say? He commends her for her efforts. She is a worthy opponent. Regrets not meeting her face to face. Perhaps they never will now because he is alluding that he is going to get away. I knew who you were and what you were going to do because I knew your master, is what she says, and concluded that her strategies would be similar to Anakin's. Also wonders how similar she might turn out to be in comparison to her master. And perhaps there is this is where, and because he's leaving her there, this is where a Ronin like you belongs. And today victory is mine. Long live the Empire, as he vanishes back to a galaxy far, far away.
Pretty much. That's pretty much he teases her and says, eat a dick and bye. And he rolls out. It's over. And she's like, shit. Okay.
And they go back to the Noti.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to be lonely in this fucking place, so let's hang out with the turtle dudes. So, okay. So pretty much at this point, the episode, everything has been pretty straightforward. It's just kind of the conclusion to the whole story. and
There's some really important things that happen right after this too.
Well,
that ends the whole. Yeah, there's a couple episodes, but go ahead.
well, the actual like Ahsoka Sabine story with that kind of ends, and it leads us to the epilogue.
No. Oh, yeah. I guess you can call it the epilogue. Yeah, because the ending is pretty much Thrawn leaves and they're stuck.
Yeah,
right, and the epilogue is them going back to the Noti.
The Noti, and this is where all the majority of the chatter of this episode is from these last, I don't know, 3 minutes,
3 to 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, because there's a few minutes with the turtle dudes, the Choti, and then after that, really quick cutscenes of different characters and what's going on. Which I'll let you.
Yeah, so we start off. The first part of the epilogue is basically Sabine and Ahsoka staring off into the distance as well, at least Ahsoka is just staring off in the distance. Sabine comes up to her and says, we're all packed up. I guess they're moving somewhere, getting ready to do something. We don't know exactly what. And as she's staring off, her and Ahsoka have like this little conversation. It's not really important what they say, but the important part is Sabine looks off as Ahsoka turns back toward the Noti, and then Ahsoka kind of feels that Sabine has not following her, that she's kind of staring off, and she says, "What is it?" And she goes, "I think it's nothing. It's just shadows in the starlight." I predict there's going to be an episode in the future called Shadows in the Starlight. But basically, Ahsoka stares off into where Sabine was looking, smiles, and then turns back. And then we pull out of frame, and we see Ghost Force Anakin Skywalker.
Well, before that, we saw the incarnation of the daughter, the bird.
We hear a bird chirping, and then Ahsoka turns over her right shoulder and she sees the Moray. And this bird, this Force bird, is known throughout what do you call it? The episodes that has to do with the Mortis gods in the Clone Wars. And in that episode, it is highly important that you probably go see this episode, honestly, now. Ahsoka actually dies in that episode. And she's brought back to life because one of the Mortis gods, the daughter, sacrifices herself.
The light.
Yeah, the light side sacrifices herself to keep Ahsoka alive. And now, since that point in time, the Moray has showed up here and there for Ahsoka, kind of guiding her.
The belief is that's her. That's a daughter. It's her reincarnation as the owl.
Yeah, but the owl was around even before when she was alive, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the daughter had like almost like a force pet. You know what I'm saying?
It's basically a part of her. It's just that's what I'm saying. It's probably just her, but it's just part of her. It's a creature that kind of like she's a beyond being. She's not like it's not like it's a bird and a person. They're all in the same.
And it's also kind of hinting to the fact that the reason why she always follows Ahsoka is because Ahsoka has the essence of the daughter within her. So she's kind of the daughter in that sense, the light side. Almost that's why the Moray just follows her or is around her or always seen around her. Also, we seen the Moray. The last time we saw the Moray was in the World Between Worlds, where Ezra saves Ahsoka from being killed by Darth Vader. So I mean, that was awesome.
Did that scene happen after we see what happens with Ben Skull and Shin Hati, or that was before?
No, so the Moray is seen before we get to any of the other cutscenes.
Okay.
So it goes. So they go back to the Noti. Ahsoka hears a bird. She sees the Moray and it flies off. Then we jump to Shinhati.
Yes, then we jump to Shinhati.
Which was a terrible way to end her.
Well, it didn't. No, well, let's get this straight. This is not an ending.
No. But I'm like, for the series, the way they told the story, it just like she got the shit end of the stick.
No.
I was telling Azores she got the shit in the stick. Here's why. She gets abandoned by her master. She gets defeated by the Jedi. She has to crawl back to the bandits of a long forgotten.
I wouldn't call that crawl back.
I'm calling it crawl back because you see her face. You look at her face and you see the way she looks, and she looks defeated.
No,
so she goes back, and then she's like, "Lightsaber, here I am."
Why do I always say, "We'll see"?
Yeah, but I'm saying we ended here. I don't give a fuck what happens in the future. I'm just saying we ended here.
I don't think this is an ending. To be honest, this episode is not an ending. It's just basically a pause. This is an intermission. This is halftime.
This is the last episode of the season 1. Of season 1. There's no part. There's no part. It's season 1.
This is, to me, this is episode 8, and there's 8 more to go. But we're not going to be able to see the next 8 for another year.
Well, look. I get it. There's a continuation. Yeah, obviously. But I'm saying you ended on this note. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying she got the short end of the stick, and on top of all of that, she got left behind by Thrawn on purpose. So she's stuck in a galaxy far, far, far away. She got screwed by her master. She got screwed by the Jedis. She got screwed by Thrawn. And she looks, and I really like this character. That's why. And she just looks like, I gotta crawl back to these people I don't really know.
I like to interject. My opinion, I think you're seeing this half glass is empty half glass. I'm seeing the half glass full. Because to me, that I don't see. I see this episode and this whole show as just the beginning part of a story, a much bigger story. This is just it's maybe not even the beginning. This is already maybe like the second or third chapter because to me the whole story is a combination of the Mandalorian seasons with the Boba Fett season. Ahsoka is a continuation of that story, but just a different aspect of that story. And this particular aspect of the story is just the beginning part of that.
Okay,
and there will be an Ahsoka season 2. My opinion at this point, I'm beginning to believe now there's an Ahsoka season 2 coming, not a film.
I've been saying that the whole time.
Well, that's why I don't see this episode 8 as an ending. This is more of just a.
But that's not my point. I'm not saying it ends here.
You say you hate the ending. It's not an ending.
No, I say I hate how she ended up. But so up to this point, she got the shit end of the stick, right? It's not the ending, but up to this point, she got the shit end of the stick.
Okay, keep hope alive.
But that's not the point. The point is up to this point. And I'm correct. She got the shit end of the stick. I'm not saying it's the end where that's the end of her stick. I'm just saying she got the shit end of this stick. Up to this point, she got the ass end, is what I'm saying.
I think that's what she wanted.
What?
Yeah, because she wanted to be a fucking warlord. She wanted power. Now she has a group of people to start some shit. That's what she wanted in the end. Because she even Balin said it. Like, your road lies differently from mine.
But he said take your place in the new empire.
Yeah, so she wants power.
Yeah.
Her thirst is for power. And if she could power and she could rule over a group of fucking bandits, then maybe that's satisfying for her at the moment. Obviously not in the long term. And we're going to see her story continue, obviously. That's not the end. But that's what she was looking for, and she's now going to. She's basically Billy the Kid with a bunch of bandits with her. And what are they going to do on this planet? I'm not sure.
Okay, so wait. So you're telling me she is satisfied being the masters of the Lord of the Flies?
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
But like I said, I'm not saying that's where her story ends. I mean, this is what she wanted. She wanted power, though.
I'm just saying, like, that doesn't sound like satisfaction to a person who
To you,
seeks power. No, for a person who seeks power,
you're
that
imposing
is not.
your
No,
belief on
no,
her.
no, no, no. I'm going by what Balin insinuated.
Where's
I'm
my
going.
gift? Bullshit, Mr.
I'm
Handman.
I'm going by the way they set up her character of her seeking super amounts of power, like just being on top of everything. The fact that she's on top of sand, of sand people, basically, and bandits of sand people. Like seriously, that's yippity doo. She's Boba Fett. And she's not even Boba Fett. She doesn't even have a palace. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying she got the shit end of the stick. I'm not saying it's over for her. She might end up on top, killing Balin, grabbing his power, whatever he finds. I can see all of that happening. I'm just saying at this point, and the worst part is they put her on the end of this shit stick, and they only showed her for like 15 seconds, maybe at the most.
Yeah, because it's not her time.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like they use the last episode to show 10, 15 seconds of her. Same thing with Balin. It's a really since you set up from the very first episode. I'm not saying give us all the answers, but I'm saying show the development of these characters in this last episode so it leaves us with something to look forward to instead of just showing me a snippet of her finding.
You're telling me you're not looking forward to them?
I'm not. I have no. Okay. If I wasn't a Star Wars fan, if I wasn't a Star Wars geek, if I didn't enjoy Star Wars as much as I enjoy Star Wars, right? I wouldn't know the whole part about Balin. Okay, that whole Balin part that they just showed at the end of this episode,
we haven't got to yet,
right? Is a shit and stick for fans watching. It's I mean not for fans watching. For the normies watching. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it's a shit. I think it's just a confusing thing. It's just because you don't know. Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. So you're left with questions more than answers.
Thank you.
Which is fine.
It can be fine, right? But in the context of what we got,
patience.
No. That's not it. It's 5 seconds to 10 seconds of him. That's
but it's
it.
This first 8 episodes was not that story. In my opinion, season 2 is going to be that story. I think season 2 we're going to see a lot of them exploring this new planet, and we'll just get to it. Balin looking for. I just had it. I lost it.
Right there.
Well, this is basically this, but. He was acting on this little lady right here. Balin is looking for her.
Are you sure?
In my opinion, yes.
We'll see.
But like I said, these are all opinions, and we all have them. But if you see when you see Balin,
and it's Aboleth.
Yes, I forget her name. But
yeah. See, the thing is nobody else is going to even know who she is. Not even some Star Wars fans are going to know who she is.
The majority of Star Wars fans don't know what the fuck this is about. And I agree with you. That's going to leave a lot of people with questions.
That's true.
And confusion. But yes, if you don't have patience, you're probably going to be annoyances, and it's not for you, and you're going to bail on the show. May not. And this is where it might not be good for the show because. You want a large audience to want this because you want support for the show because you want the show to continue. Okay, maybe this is too baseball for fucking baseball. It's
no. Here's their problem when they did
and
this.
And maybe they fucked up there, but I'm not gonna. But let me finish. I'm not gonna sit and say fuck it, it's over. I'm gonna wait and see.
No. See, their problem here is. We don't know how this continues because we were never told there's a season 2. We still haven't been told there's a season 2.
No, they haven't told us shit.
There might not be a season 2. For all we know, they're like, nah, we're going to cover it all in the movie.
Yeah, fuck it. We don't have
or
the budget to spend $100 million on a show and $20 million on a movie. We'll just do the movie, and there goes the story. But oh well.
We don't even know if we're getting a Mando season 5.
4.
Excuse me. Oh, we are getting a Mando season 4.
That's all we gonna get then.
Yeah, but we don't know we're getting a season 5, so we don't even know if this is involved in the Mando season because it's Mandalorian. So I don't think it would be so much included as much. There are going to be parts of it.
Yeah, some tie-ins here and there. But
there has to be tie-ins. I agree with that. There has to be tie-ins with Hera, the Empire. I mean, the New Republic. There has to be tie-ins with Thrawn and this new Empire that's coming around. There has to be tie-ins with like the Moff Gideon whole part of it, right? Like I get all of that.
And we still have also the Skeleton Crew show.
That's the other thing. So we do have the Skeleton Crew. And this was the theory that I had heard a long time ago, but I wasn't sure how it fit. And now it makes freaking sense. You son of a bitch. There was a theory that the Star Wars Skeleton Crew was about these younglings and this Jedi stuck actually in the same galaxy as Peridia. So
yeah, I think I did hear that.
And they're the ones who are gonna rescue Ahsoka and Sabine.
Well, that's a possibility. Another possibility is let's get more into the mythology of Star Wars. That Ahsoka and Sabine do meet up with the Mortis gods. Somehow Ahsoka officially becomes one of the Mortis gods, and that's enough power for her to get back. There's another possibility. There's another rumor. I've heard that.
I always felt she was the daughter after that episode. That because the whole time they were trying to replace the son as well.
Who do you think lives over here besides fucking Mordor?
Okay, so
that's totally Mordor too.
So we kind of did skip over the scene. So Balin, we see Balin. He is on top of a statue, a ginormous statue.
Of the father.
Well, we'll get to that. He's looking out into a valley, and in the valley, at the end of the valley, there is a mountain, and at the peak of the mountain, there is a glowing beacon almost. So it's flashing, and then when we pan out, you see that he's standing on the statue of the Mortis god, the Father, who is the balance. He is the balance. To his left, or when you're looking at it right, that's his son, who is the dark side, and then to the right of him, or our left, is the daughter. But as you can see, her face has been cut off, and in addition to that, she's separated from both of them.
Yes.
I don't know if that means she's dead. I don't know if that means
we're assuming
this planet hates the light side, so it's all about like the dark power. It could be because this is the witches' whole planet, so they could have done that because they probably worship the son more than the father or the daughter, and like that whole part of it, like that whole lore, it all kicks in here, and the daughter like statue missing basically the head. It's almost like, well, Ahsoka's down there, right? And the Moray is there. And so, in essence, the daughter is basically there and whole.
If Taylor Swift and fucking a Star Wars movie or show, that's the end.
Never, well, I can't say never happening.
She's Lady Deadpool, by the way. Nah, I'm kidding. She
could be. She could be.
Lady Deadpool or Dazzler? Everybody's putting money on Dazzler, but
I can see Lady Deadpool.
I think Lady Deadpool makes sense too, or Gwenpool.
I don't think they can do Gwenpool.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever character she's going to be is not going to go forward.
Well, it doesn't. It does matter because they can't use Gwenpool. They can't use Stacy. They can't use Gwen Stacy.
I don't know. It's that blurry line between X-Men and
it is blurry, I guess.
Yeah, they've done it before, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, So yeah, I mean, the Mortis gods in Star Wars lore, if you guys don't know, is basically they are the gods of the Force. The light side with the daughter, the dark side with the son, and the balance with the father. But what Big Rob was talking about is about Aboleth, and she is actually the missing part of the whole family, which is the mother. And there's a story about her and the reason why she is not one of the Mortis gods because she had corrupted the Force and tried to use it. And that's kind of the theory behind the whole Dathomir witches and stuff, that she's that part of the Force.
What totally makes sense.
Which absolutely makes sense, right? Because if you have the light side and you have the dark side, you have the Jedi, you have the Sith, you have the balance, right? Then where the hell did the witches come from? Where the hell they get their power from the Force? Well, that would make sense now, right? So I get all of that, but I don't necessarily I the theory for he's looking for the beginning would make sense. She's the mother. They're not born without her.
Well,
the daughter and the son.
Yeah,
and so she could be the beginning.
It's almost like the another Odin Thor vibe, like the family dynamic, pretty much.
These are gods. They have a weird family dynamic, and other people are discovering their powers. Like it could be pointing to Aboleth. It could just be pointing to the Mortis gods. It could be pointing back to the world between worlds.
Well, I understand that. They call them the Mortis because they live in Mortis. Mortis is
the planet.
City, the planet, the city, whatever. And it's Asgard, basically. And I think the father is like the main dude. He's the main guy.
He's the balance of the Force, right?
Which is key to our story. So yeah, he's looking for the mom. Let's just lay it out here. So basically, the rumors are that, fuck it, I'll say it. Anakin is
He's
balance.
The son.
He's the father.
Well, okay.
He's the balance.
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with it.
So let me lay it down, and then you can interject. Then the Ahsoka is the light, because the light sacrificed herself for Ahsoka in an early episode of Clone Wars. She's the light. We don't know who the son is. There's a lot of speculation, but we don't know. Maybe Sabine, maybe Balin. We don't know. Maybe it's nobody. Who knows? And of course, the mom is the mom. That's she, and I think she is the end boss at season 2. So this is crazy. This is banana. This is where a lot of people are confused and lost, and maybe this is too much for them. Maybe only they're fucked up here. I don't know. We'll find out in the long run. But that's the gist of it. We all presume. I could be completely wrong, and they're going a whole different direction. We'll find out. We'll see. Right? Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, if I recall correctly from the episode, and I probably don't recall completely, from the Mortis God episode, I'm pretty sure the father asked Anakin to stay as the son.
Yeah.
Not the father. The father would still be alive. He was to replace the son. And
I swear I recollect different. I swear he was to replace the father.
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, because it was that's when he got the vision of Darth Vader.
Because to me, it makes more sense he's the father because he's the balance, because he's been a Jedi and a Sith.
Right, but at this point, he had not been a Sith, and he was, and he gets this Force vision of him becoming Vader, becoming the dark side.
Oh, so that's right.
It was related to the son giving him that kind of vision, that Force vision. And so I was pretty sure like Ahsoka was supposed to replace the daughter, Anakin was supposed to replace the son, and they would be there with the father. But I could be wrong. Someone could correct me. But
maybe you're right.
Maybe you're right too.
At that point, maybe he was just the son, but at this point, obviously, I don't think he is.
Like now, I can see him exactly, because remember what I said in that one episode with the World Between Worlds, he was the balance because he had the light side and he had become the dark side, and he went back to the light side. So he has both within him.
Azora says he was supposed to be the father.
Okay. No, Anakin. Okay. So yeah. So I guess you were right.
I think that's what happened in the show. Yeah, I think that's what I remember. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think maybe I was interpreting in the sense of like, there's no way he become the balance because he's Darth Vader. You know, so like he had to go through his Darth Vader phase in order to become the balance. So I guess I don't know. I just interpreted it, I guess, differently. But yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, which there's all this just from Balin looking out into the sky. This all came about. All of this information. So Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, he saved them both and passed the father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, a great episode. Check it out.
Yeah, actually, it's one of the best episodes.
But that literally that 5-second clip of Balin that just exploded the internet.
It just points to the Mortis gods. That's all it does.
And really kind of put the whole story of the whole season on the back burner almost. And not relevant, but not as important as the Balin story almost at this point. Because
this could still be part of my theory.
Which is
that this is where the Force began, or at least the belief in the Force and the use of the Force.
Well, yeah, the planet Mortis is where the Mortis. That's what I think it's a fact at this point. That's where the Force started.
No. Well, this isn't Mortis though. This is Peridia.
Well, that's
in a galaxy far, far, far away.
Yeah.
So Mortis, yeah, I understand that they're saying that, but remember they're saying, and I don't know if they're changing the freaking continuity or they're changing the lore.
Yeah.
But yes, in the episode they say that's where the Force started, right?
Yeah, this also could be 3D chess, right? Like in Star Trek, there's 3 levels to the shit, and Mortis is within Gradient. It's just another dimension. Who knows? We'll find out.
That could be too. Yeah, that there was a question about that as well.
The one between worlds, right? And all that crap. So,
but they've been establishing that, or at least Balin has, is that in this galaxy that with Peridia, that the Force actually starts here. Because he says he wants to go back to the beginning, and that's why he's here.
And this is why, my opinion, this is a good episode, because it's just, you think you have the puzzle solved, and you realize you only solve 10% of the puzzle, and the rest of the puzzle scattered throughout the fucking floor. And you got to put it more together still.
That's only good if you don't think this is a one and done season.
Well, that's definitely that's
the thing, like, because at this point, what Disney has told us, what Star Wars has told us, what Filoni has told us, there's this season for Ahsoka. There's no second season so far. There is no. We didn't even get the hint that there's actually a continuation of this story, except for the fact that we know that there's going to be a movie in the Mandalorian world. That's what I mean. That if there was a continuity thing where they go, oh, season 2, or no, this will continue in the Mandalorian, or this will continue in the movie.
We're talking we're talking fantasy. We're talking stories. Yeah. But in the real world practicality, Disney's economy could, their budget could change, and they decide, well, we can't do all that. We can't afford to do all that right now. We're going to do this instead.
It's just bad marketing to fans who are not super fans.
Well, no, it's maybe they just don't know what the fuck they're going to do. It's just that simple. But in my opinion, they're not losing. People who think that Disney's suffering and all this, it's not baloney, man. the majority of their fucking income comes from merchandising
Of course.
and the parks. That's when the parks closed, they really hurt them. Not the show, not the movies. Those are just marketing tools for their parks and their merchandise. And Ahsoka, yes, maybe it is not Netflix, Stranger Things level of viewership, but when it comes to the merchandising and the marketing for the parks, Stranger Things has nothing on it. It generates more money in the bigger picture. So that's why I, my opinion, they will continue with this because there is a possibility. These characters are rich. Maybe the viewership's a more cult following, a more niche following, but the dollars are there. This following financially can support Disney at a good. Of course, they'll prefer to have a bigger viewership and they can make a lot more money, but I think in the long run they'll continue with this, and the money is there no matter what for them.
Yeah, no, economically, there's no question. Disney knows what they're doing.
Even like the Marvel stuff, that's all the Disney Plus shows are finished. Yes, maybe
they don't care.
No, they're don't care.
Selling billions of dollars on merchandise. Who cares?
Yeah, I guarantee you they made $1 on Secret Invasion, bro.
For sure. That's their toys sold. I'm sure they're making trading cards.
T-shirts make a lot of fucking money, dude.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Fucking look at Arcana, man.
Yeah, so I mean, economically it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying, like,
no, I'm saying
marketing of the story was I think not as good as you would expect from Disney and Star Wars. That's all. Well, I maybe it's not bad, but it's not what you would expect, because usually you get a notice and you don't, so when you're left on this cliffhanger, you go, oh, well, at least I know there's something going to come forward afterwards.
Yeah.
Right now, at this point, you don't know.
Yeah, Disney stocks are lower right now, as always, but but stocks too is it's all it's all like we call it just.
Oh, that's of course.
What's that term? Can't remember the fucking term. When you just put in your idea of what the stock is value, it's not actual hard value. It's just it's a presumption. It's an estimation of this is the value, and people, it's all stocks are all based on opinions, and a lot of people, these opinions carry a lot of value, but it could be a misguided opinion on people's knowledge that they don't know shit about.
It's based on perception, and not just that, but it's not only based on perception. There is a formula, but part of that formula is also, well, they did suffer for the last few years regarding the whole pandemic. Their parks were closed. They literally lost billions just from the parks, and they got a lot of parks.
And I'm like, hey, GameStop stock was presumed very valuable, but we all know it was bullshit.
Yeah, that's definitely bullshit. Same thing with AMC.
Yeah, I'm like, but it's all.
It's how you manipulate the system too, and also there's other things. Disney Plus lost money, which every streamer loses money except for Netflix this year. Just this year, Netflix made money.
Yeah, it took them 20 years. Took them 20 years to get to this point.
Yeah, basically to get in the black.
Well, that's a lot of big companies like Amazon. Amazon, it took them 25 years to start being profitable.
I'm pretty sure Disney lost over $1 billion on Disney Plus alone this year.
Well, they're not increasing they're not making more money. They're basically money in, money out, money in, money out. They're just the business is running.
Well, but they have so many parts of their business. That's why they're allowed to make these kind of losses in one area, because they can make it up in another area.
Disney is Coca-Cola, man. Disney is McDonald's. Yeah. It's solid. I'm like, in the end, it might, it does get, there's downs and there's ups, but in the long term, you never know. Maybe they do get bought out, but
they can still get bought out. There's people who have more money than Disney.
Yeah, there's
Go
fucking
go ask Apple. Go ask
Clinton.
Amazon.
Clinton has more money than them though. So it's like, yeah, this is about out. But in the end, the brand itself is good.
It's always going to continue. Disney always is going to be a good brand.
It's like WWF, right? WWE. It's there's a lot more with there is not a lot of value on that, but the brand is strong. And that shit just sold, or just is estimated now the value of $9 billion, which it wasn't for a very long time.
I'm not a stock guy. I'm not any of that. Okay. But if Disney's at one of its lowest points stock wise, price wise, in a long time, buy the hell out of it if you can afford it.
Yeah, it's still expensive in the bigger picture.
You will make money in the long run,
yeah.
but you have to be in the long run. You can't just be a day trader.
Yeah, this is not a Funko Pops, but you can flip it.
We did miss one part, so we forgot to end on the ship Empire ship lands into Home One, docks into Home One. A night trooper comes out. Everyone draws their guns. Hera's there, Chopper's there, and Chopper's recognizes the trooper, or at least is like, "What are you guys doing?" He goes up to the trooper. The trooper touches Chopper, and he gets a little excited. And then he removes his mask and reveals it's Ezra. And he goes, "Hi, Hera, I'm home." And we end there. We don't even get a hug. Like that's
was that the ending, or Anakin was the ending?
Well, yeah, Anakin's the ending, but that's the ending for Ezra's part and Hera's part, right?
Yeah.
My small issue is the one win that they got throughout this episode. The one real win is getting Ezra back home. He doesn't even hug anybody. Like no one welcomes him. I was a little upset.
Which is crucial because that proves the threat of Thrawn is probably real.
Right. But also, she doesn't ask, where's Sabine and Ahsoka?
Well, she's just shocked. She's just stunned at that point.
She is probably shocked.
She thought she'll never see him again.
But she doesn't hug him. She doesn't go toward him. I'm just weirded out.
Well, we don't get to that because it cuts away and it cuts to Ahsoka and Sabine. And we were talking about it earlier, but we didn't actually finish the conversation on that because the end was when they cut away from
Force Anakin,
and it's fucking Anakin Force Ghost watching them from afar.
Which also begs the question about the whole Mortis God thing because he shows up there as a Force Ghost.
Well,
I know it's Ahsoka, but also maybe what Azor had said earlier is that planet has more of a connection to the Force than we know, and so it's easier for him to be a Force Ghost there.
And maybe he's been residing there since that planet contains Mortis in a certain way, right?
Right. I mean, it
or it's a door into Mortis or something.
Yeah, it could be, or it could be, like you said, Mortis could be in multiple planes at one time of existence, and one of those planes is in this galaxy on that planet.
Yeah, and Anakin could use it as a door. Yeah, and scene show is over. Season 1 of Ahsoka. We're hoping for a season 2. We're hoping for a film. Who knows?
We're gonna get the film. We just don't know there's a season 2, and we're hoping that film.
We're hoping.
I don't have to hope. Filoni has said it.
Well, hopefully he doesn't die, right?
God, if he, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't joke like that. Don't joke like that. That's just cold, bro.
Hey, maybe there's a nuclear bomb that hits fucking LA one day and we're done.
Well, shit, then it won't matter anyways.
I know. We're not going to see.
I won't even care.
We're not going to see nothing.
This guy, dude. This guy and his like.
It's like Kevin Smith when he had the heart attack, and he says, "All I want to do is keep on living to watch all these Marvel movies because this is what I always imagined to watch. I wish I could see, but I could never see when I was younger." It's basically the same thing. I just hope to live on I could see where the story goes. That's why that's the only reason I don't want to die. I want to see where the story goes. The story of everything, of course, not just fucking Star Wars, but story. I want to know why it
This guy, dude.
carries on. But hey, man, the odds of that is pretty low, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that with that said, that's the end of Ahsoka season 1. I say that just because we don't know if we get a season 2.
Yeah, like I said, we don't know shit. We'll find out.
I'm sure we'll find out soon. Actually, probably within a month or so.
Yeah, or less. Maybe we'll find out. But
Yeah.
what's? Oh, just you must have saw what I put in our little private chat. So Sabine, Ezra, Morgan, and who's the fourth person? Oh, Shin Hati. They're all going to be at LA Comic Con that
yeah.
week, December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, I think. So they're all going to be there. They're going to sign. They're going to do photo ops.
Yep.
That's a pretty cool one. To have
That's
them
cool for sure. I think no, it's. I thought it was. Oh yeah, you're right.
It's Shin Hati, Morgan, Ezra, and Sabine.
Yeah.
It's that's cool. I'm like, that's pretty current, pretty cool. I don't know. They're like $75 a pop on each signature and each photo op. On what book to get signed? Be the question.
I would. I don't know if I would get a book signed by any of them. I probably go get their Funko Pop signed by them.
You rather get a pop sign and a book?
Yeah, because I mean, as a comic collector, some comic. Value. Yeah, because I mean, and also as a comic book collector, some people kind of frown upon like, well, that person didn't freaking write that book. They didn't draw on that book. They have nothing to do with that book.
But if it's your book,
they just played that character in a show.
Well, I got my random Star Trek book signed by William Shatner. It's mine. I love it. Never going to let it go.
I'm going to say that's slightly different because these actors were not kept in mind when they created these characters. However, if those characters, the Star Trek characters, they are simply made after those actors' portrayals and everything.
It's a photo variant too, so
yeah.
But I think it'd still be cool to get like a cool cover art of them signed by that.
I won't argue.
You don't want to waste it on a key book, maybe on just a cool cover book. But yeah, I think Funko Pop would be cool too. Get a Funko Pop. Is there a? I know Sabine has pops.
Mm-hmm.
Does Shin Hati and Morgan have pops?
I want to say they are making them. I don't know if they're out yet.
I think Shin Hati is out or not. It's going to be out soon.
But and I'm pretty sure they made a Morgan too.
Because I know there's no Shin Hati comic book.
No. And there's no Morgan else either.
It will be out because that's I think that's Mandalorian issue 5.
Right, but will it be out before?
I think it will. By December 1st, I think it will. Issue 5, I think so.
Okay, so that's literally her first appearance in the comics.
Yeah, because issue 4 is this month. Issue 5 is next month, November.
So I guess that would be the only book for her.
Yeah,
no Shin Hati book. So I mean, you're kind of screwed, and I don't think there's anything for you to sign for her.
Shin Hati, no. The only thing you get signed from her is like a Star Wars Insider.
Yeah,
which is always, my opinion.
That's cool.
If you want to be really super technical about Star Wars characters,
that's usually all the first appearances.
Yeah, all the characters, Asajj Ventress. Every character,
Ahsoka, Grogu,
all the modern stuff at least.
Yeah, all that
Anakin, stuff. All that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. You're in the Southern California or near to the Southern California area. They're all going to be at LA Comic Con for signatures and photo ops. So that'd be cool. I kind of hope they add Hera to the list. Ewan McGregor's wife.
Good luck. I like to see Mary Elizabeth Winstead too.
I'm kind of hoping they add her to the list because they just added Shin Hati and Sabine, I think. So I'm kind of hoping they add Hera. I'll be happy with that. There's no way in hell Rosario Dawson's going to.
You know what? I won't doubt that she does. She is an LA native,
Yeah, she lives in LA.
and um, she actually likes cons.
Yeah, no, I've seen her before in the past, just on booths, like promoting her
But
books and stuff.
but with the whole, I'm actually
Right.
surprised. Actually, you know what? I'm super surprised those actors are going to be there.
They are all assuming that the strike will be over by then. That's why
Okay.
they're all like
Okay.
revving up. They're all getting bookings
Yeah.
because the Telltale's well, the word on the street is this month it ends. They're just kind
Yes.
of finishing up the touches on the contract.
Well, I think if I'm correct, they met today. They had skipped yesterday to take a break, and they had met the day before that. So, like, yeah, they're having their
It's heating
meetings to
up.
negotiate.
Yeah,
Supposedly, it should be negotiation should be done by next week, if not by the end of this week.
which is plenty of time
R-
before. That
right?
sucks. It really all the stuff that came out during the strike, like Ahsoka, none of those actors go out there and promote. And
None.
another thing that hurt the show probably is
That
they
probably
weren't
did
able to.
hurt.
Yeah, they're not able to go on Jimmy Kimmel, go on Jimmy Fallon, go on ABC News, go on all this random shit to
Go
go
on Joe
promote your.
Rogan. Go on,
Yeah, do all this.
whatever,
Do all
YouTube,
this.
comicbook.com.
Yeah, go on fucking hot ones, right? It's like
Yeah.
do all this partnership marketing deals, right, with other companies to promote stuff with fucking McDonald's and shit like that. It just
It did hurt. It
yeah,
did
it
hurt.
hurt.
I'm sure they had promotions that they could not do at all.
Yeah.
Um,
So that would have been cool. It's like it sucks for those actors because this is like their almost like their big break for a lot of these actors. And
yeah. I mean, Natasha Lou Borden, or whatever her name is, and the S friend guy.
this is by far the biggest role for Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, for Morgan, whatever her name is, Diane. Yeah, that's pretty much their biggest roles ever.
So, oh, by the way, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, all the Hobbits are going to be there.
Wow.
They were there last year. They're going to be there this year. All four of them, Frodo and
the four
Sam.
friends.
Yeah.
Samwise.
Yeah. They're all. I think it's about $80 to $100 each person.
Bro, go get my Rudy Pop sign
or
something.
To me, that would be cool. Do a photo op, all four of them together. I'd rather have that a photo op with them. Okay, we're dragging out the show here.
You're going off on tangents, sir.
I know. I'll wrap it up here. All right. Don't forget, use code ARUNDA14 for 30 days unlimited cover price for 99 cents. Go check out Cover Price. If you own comic books, just give it a look. I'm sure you'll get a free account. Just check it out. And if you like it, try the 30 days for free for 99 cents and play with it. It's a badass app. I highly recommend it. Nirvana 14 gets you 99 cents for 30 days.
I love the app.
And then
it's not even an app, it's a website.
It's a website. It's an application per se, but not really. It's just a website. Application, maybe you could do shortcuts on your phone for it. So it works like an app, basically. Bird City Comics, number TNH10, 10% off your purchase at Bird City Comics. TNH10, 10% off your purchase at Bird City Comics, and check out their back catalog of store exclusives. A lot of cool covers. Get you 10% off. And don't forget, also go to displaygeek.com. Use the code TEAMNERDHERD and save 10%. Get yourself some displays. I keep saying these displays are cool. They could be used for many different things. They're very resourceful and practical, and cheap is the key word, cheap. Get 10% off with Team Nerdherd code word. And did I? You know what? Let me bring it up. No, I guess. Damn, I thought I had it right here, real quick. I'm sorry. Let me see. Can I bring it up really fast? It's right here. Yeah, I'll bring it up. Where'd it go? There it is. Got it. Let me pull this to the side. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I should have this out already. I don't know why I didn't. There it is. Oh, the hell? That's weird. Do you see it? No. Oh, okay. It was weird. Oh, you're on mute, dude. You're on mute.
Sorry, I don't see anything. Here, so I'm gonna.
No, I got it. There you go. It was coming up on the regular screen on my end. There you go.
You don't need to do that anymore.
Why?
It's right here.
Oh, it was in there.
Yeah, dude. That's why I was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh shit!
I'm trying to show you.
Well, you were
Look
on
at
mute
that.
the whole time. I couldn't. You couldn't
My
hear
bad.
what the
My
fuck
bad.
was.
So it's
I
under the
thought it was
brand.
me seeing like my computer fucking.
I was like, "What is he doing?" I'm trying to figure it out. He's not saying what he's. I just
Oh
gotta
yeah,
get this
there
thing
it is.
back here. This thing back here. I was
Oh,
like, "What are
I
you
forgot it
getting?"
was. We had it the whole time. My bad. Well, don't forget also. So tomorrow we got Long Story Short with the fellas. That's Thursday night. I think 6 and quote me on the times. But if you want to know cool ghostly books that you hard to find,
Hard to find. Yeah.
check out Long Story Short. They'll bring up your knowledge on hard to find books. A lot of times I see books I've never seen in my life.
Rare
But
books, cool cover books.
yeah, with Easy and Band and Red Hood and Comic Book Miller, they're all cool dudes. Check out their show on Thursday. One of the more popular shows on the channel here. And don't forget also Friday and they're Nirvana with the girls, but they do their this is their
I think they're
more.
doing the witching hour.
Oh, that's right. They're doing the
for
witching
this month.
Yeah, that's Lucy doing her ghost stories. Cool.
Yeah, ghost stories and just horror stories. Fans of Halloween.
Yeah, and also the Saturday morning toy box. That's me, Jeff, Steve, and I think Charlie will come to this one. He's taking way too much PTO.
You sure? I don't know, dude. Did he talk to human resources?
I want to report him to HR, dude.
I'll tell you.
But this at 10 a.m. No, yeah, 10 a.m. West Coast, 1 p.m. East Coast, Saturday morning toy box where we review this week's solicitations, new pre-orders, and new releases for toys, which it's incredible how much shit comes out every week.
I'm not surprised.
Way worse than comic books, trust me. Comic books pales in comparison to toys, so how much shit comes out every week. It's even with like just within like a few companies. It's like what I show you is just literally the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, you might get 50 to 70 new books a week overall. All companies, all publishers. You get 50 from like Hasbro. You get like 40 from like Hot Toys and Sideshow.
Yeah, it's like right now this week, comics is hot because the New York Comic Con, there's a million fucking work, which will lead us back to Monday. And this Monday Cover Lovers is going to be a special Cover Lovers. We're going to do a review of New York Comic Con comic books, stuff that already came out online by that point, or stuff that's about to come out online. But they'll definitely be at the New York Comic Con. If you're going to do a visit to the con this year, we're going to give you all the boost numbers and all that stuff and where you can get these books.
Yeah, you probably get it on your whatnots.
Or your whatnots. If you miss out and you're stuck with eBay, at least you could see what's available. So check out this Monday at 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. West Coast, which is 9:30 East Coast. Cover Lovers, also one of our popular shows here on the New Nirvana channel. This is a good one. A million books from you. It's like double the amount of books than San Diego Comic Con had, which is crazy.
You'll get my opinions on Monday.
It's almost gross to a certain point.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like nauseous from it. It's a lot.
I refuse to look at all of them. I do. I refuse.
So then Tuesday, Comic Book Woman, where they'll do a review of a character and do all like the books for that topic. I think last week. Last week was
was had to do with horror. I'm thinking it is pre-code.
I think it was horror. Golden Age. No, was it Golden Age?
I thought it was pre-code horror stuff.
Pre-code Golden Age. Yeah, it was pre-code. Yeah. So check them out on Tuesday on the channel, and Wednesday. That's it. No more Ahsoka.
Well,
I don't know.
There might be something there. There is a Loki season 2 that starts this week, which actually is tomorrow, right?
Yeah. See, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because we'll start so every Thursday. So if we do this show, we're gonna have to discuss this with him.
Yeah, we will. We might move movies and shows. We don't know.
Well,
We
no,
might not even do it. But I think for Loki season 2,
it's their Thursdays.
because we haven't gotten any Marvel stuff recently, and it might not be after the Marvels. We might not get any Marvel stuff for a while.
Yeah.
We might do the review on Loki season 2, and the reason why is I saying that is because I'm actually hearing people who watch the first 4 episodes are actually giving it good reviews. So I haven't heard the actual reviews. I haven't actually seen the actual reviews. I've just heard that they've been pretty good overall, and I don't know. I just think that this season would be nice because I think this definitely would have to lead into those Avengers movies. It would have to be a big deal because of the whole Kang thing and stuff. So,
Well, but we'll let you know if we do it because, like I said, I know we all have lives and stuff, and
yes,
not every Wednesday we can actually hang
that
out.
too.
Nerd.
Yeah, I do have a lot of obligations I have to take care of. I don't even know for how long.
Holidays are coming, and a lot of things happen. So we'll see. But we'll discuss it. Maybe we'll do a Logan review or something else for Wednesday. But for now, let's assume it ends here. But we'll announce that we do Logan or not. But okay, that's it. Any final thoughts? Oh shit! What was your grade on the episode?
This guy.
We've done the grades for every episode. We haven't done a grade for this one. Or
Okay.
what's your 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
1 to 10.
So last week I gave the last week episode an 8. I have to give this is a 7. This is probably the worst episode out of all the episodes.
Nah, that's crazy.
No, it's the worst episode out of all the episodes because all the episodes were good, pretty much. So I'm not saying it's a bad episode. I'm saying it's just worse than the other ones. Because the other ones are pretty much more exciting. I got a little more information. This was just a couple of results and a lot of questions unanswered, and a lot of questions actually more presented. So I would rather have ended on at least a couple more questions answered, or at least a little bit further tracked down. More information given to us. But so yeah, I give it a 7. Yeah.
Okay, 7. Well, for me, in general, it's an 8.
Okay.
But this is my caveat that there's really 2 scores. If you don't know shit of what the ending meant and no clue, and you just completely, what the fuck was that at the end?
I think that hurts. That's why.
I agree. It's a 7. But if you know exactly what's going on and you totally understand everything, it's a 9. Because so
you're splitting the difference.
I know, and that's why I gave it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a 9. Because that, to me, even that was literally 5 minutes of the last show of the episode. That to me salvaged the episode. I think the episode was solid, not the greatest, but solid. But when it came to that took it at a higher level. But that's why I'm bringing it down. I'm saying an 8. I could see a 7. That's fine with me too. It's a 7, between the 7 and 8. I totally agree there. It's not a 6. It's not a 5.
Yeah, no. I will never give any. All these episodes are worthy of watching. Okay?
Secret Invasion at its best was a fucking 6. At its best. This is not Secret Invasion.
I am not commenting on that show.
That's what I'm saying. At its best, the average was more like a 4 or a 3. But at its best, it was like a 6.
This is above Boba Fett.
I enjoy Boba Fett, but I could see why people don't like it, but I enjoy it personally.
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy Boba Fett. I'm just saying overall,
it's
the enjoyment and the action and the story, I think it is slightly better than Boba Fett. I don't know if it's better than Obi-Wan.
I think it's better than Obi-Wan.
It might be slightly better than Obi-Wan as well. I'm not upset about that.
There's
But there was a lot of
episodes
things.
for that one.
Yeah, there were a few things in Obi-Wan that I liked, and there's quite a few things I didn't like.
Obviously, the Obi-Wan bitter fight, but so I think it's better than Obi-Wan. It's better than Boba Fett.
Yeah, I don't think it's better than. I don't know. It's better than Andor.
I think it's better than Andor. It's better than Mando season 3. Is it better than Mando season 2?
No, not even close. Mando season 2 is the best season of any Star Wars.
I don't think it's that far apart. I think it's as fun as Mando season 2. It's not better than Mando season 2.
I don't think it's better than Mando season 1.
I think it is. The ending to Mando season 1, or the beginning and the ending to Mando season 1 was brilliant. The middle was a little slow.
I get that. I think they had a disadvantage though, because you're introducing that whole world, so you have to have a lot of slow going, a lot of talking episodes. So I get that, because Ahsoka is basically established. It's established.
Mando had a clear advantage because it was COVID and everybody was stuck at home, so they had no choice but to watch this shit, because that was the saving grace for Mando. Yeah, because everybody, it was during the peak of COVID. That's
right, but it's not like they wrote that stuff and filmed that stuff knowing that COVID was going to happen.
I know, but it added juice to it because there was a lot more eyeballs on it compared to, let's say, if it's during the summer and everything's normal, people are going out and about, they don't want to stay home and watch TV. Maybe they lose 20% of their audience just because the show is worse.
But is that an advantage though? Because you have more people watching because they just happen to be stuck at home. So these are not normally Star Wars fans that are probably watching now. Yeah. So there is not an advantage. I think it's going to be more harshly looked at. No,
people were the show was good. 100% the show was good, but I think they got more eyeballs because there was people stuck at home. It's like YouTube. Yeah, YouTube during that point was high viewership. All these comic book shows were having high viewership because people were stuck at home. As soon as people were allowed to go out, all the YouTube shows kind of dipped viewership.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if that's here or there in what I was saying about the comparison between season 1 of Mando and Ahsoka season 1.
I think quality they're not even balanced. I could see your argument is better than Ahsoka, and I could see people.
I'm only saying that because it had to establish the whole Mando world.
Yeah, and it was a cool Western.
Yeah, and exactly, the whole Cobb Vanth and
it's more relatable. It's more relatable than this super complicated, deep cut Star Wars stuff as the Ahsoka's presenting.
Yeah, we didn't go all over the fucking place.
Yeah, this Ahsoka's not as relatable as Mando.
No,
but I think
Ahsoka has an advantage in the sense of you had Rebels and she was established in Mando.
It has more depth.
Yeah,
it has more depth than Mando.
That's the only thing I say.
And that's why season 3 kind of is. You can see the depth is not there for season 3. It's a little too shallow.
It was kind of it was like the worst written season out of both seasons.
I'm sorry, I'm ignoring the comments here.
Oh, I didn't even see the comments.
Yeah, Bobby got it good on 9, dude. Ooh, just for the stormtroopers. Yeah, I'm not. I can't.
Yeah, Gossett gives it a 9. Okay.
I can't argue with it. I'm like,
yeah.
If you're between 7 and a 9, I'm not gonna argue. I'm like,
you're 8. I'm not hating on anyone who likes this episode, because if you really like this episode, you're more likely to have more Star Wars knowledge, right? If you want to do it right, get right for that. For me, I look at it like the only way I judge this is I look at it from I'm not a normal person.
That was literally he is right. The first episode of Ahsoka was in Mando season 2. That's why Mando season 2 was fucking epic, because it had fucking Ahsoka, the introduction of Ahsoka, which I teared up when I saw it, and it had the return of Luke. The introduction of Bo-Katan, the return of Luke, the dark saber fights. Morgan introduction was there. It had fucking.
You find out Grogu's name at the end of season 1, going into season 2.
And it had the dude from fucking Terminator. What's his name? The guy, the good guy, from part 1. Shit, I can't remember his name. But even had him when he was also from Aliens. So
I know you're talking about. Yeah, the father.
Yeah. So Mando season 2 is hard to top because it really world built a lot.
It was the best season of Star Wars on Disney Plus. Period.
Yeah, it's a number 1. I'm like, after that, it's all preference really. But Mando season 2 is the best. But it's man, I think we could John Connor's the son.
Yeah. I like I said, shit, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. But let's wrap this show. We're just dragging it out here.
Yeah, no, let's go. I guess I look forward to seeing more of this stuff.
100%.
I can't wait for Mando season 4.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with the movie and a season 2. Because there's still a strike going on, so we're not going to get any word until the strikes are done.
There was a time when I would say, man, there's not a lot of Ahsoka merchandise out there. I wish there was a lot more.
Yeah, now what? Everyone's throwing up Ahsoka merchandises.
It's literally pasted everywhere.
Shoot, you watched the fucking show? It says it above the banner. Go shop special stuff for Ahsoka.
My wife bought this sweater with the cut off sleeves right here for Ahsoka. It was like it had the sleeves right, but it was cut right here, so you could see her shoulders. They were selling that at downtown Disney.
Oh my gosh!
It was a cool Ahsoka sweater. I'm like, that's what she wanted. I'm like, I want the cuts like Ahsoka. I'm like, all right,
that's awesome.
So, all right, I guess I'll.
Yeah.
You want me to close it?
Yeah, please. I'll do the ending, but you close it. Let me find the ending.
If you want to do it right and get more Star Wars shows done right, support your Star Wars shows. Watch them, talk about them, and there'll be more. Thank you.
Peace out, guys. May the Force be with you.